finally meet you in person. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, I'm 55 years of age, so I'm no spring chicken. I grew up there in Sydney. Started surfing when I was about 7 years old. My dad was involved in the surf club, and we spent all our time at the beach as kids. And surfing was a natural progression for me. And my dad was in the surf club, and the surf life saving movement was not that cool, you know. And down the other end of the beach where I lived, there was all these cool kids just surfing, and I was like, I want to be a surfer, man. And I had the dream of being a professional surfer, and my dreams came true. I did 15 years on the World Tour and won the World Championship in '88.
Did you just grab a surfboard and you just went off and surfed?
Oh, my dad took me.
Okay, so he taught you how to surf?
Yeah, he took me to the beach and taught me how to surf. He didn't really teach me, he just told me to paddle out and do it. There was no such thing as coaching in surfing or surf schools. Back then you just paddled out and learnt the hard way, the old school way. And I remember I hated it at first. The first 3 waves I fell, I nosedived, I was like, I came in and went, I don't want to do this. And he went, no, just wait a while. And we sat on the beach and the tide went out and the conditions changed. He said, go back out and have another go. And I did that, and it went amazing. And I got my first wave. I remember standing up my first wave as a little kid and riding it all the way to the stand and stepping off in the sand and just going, oh, that's, you know. And I feel like,
want to do for life.
And then when my dad passed away when I was 11, I think that kind of solidified my determination to take care of myself, to create a future for myself, and to be a professional surfer. And so all my life, from sort of 10 years old, that's what I was going to do. And now I'm 55, still hanging around surfing. I never took no for an answer. I never believed anyone else, because no one ever said I could do it. No one I ever knew went, you'll do it, you'll make it, everyone like, you won't do that, you won't, you know. And I never listened to anyone else. I just was always true to myself, and just worked as hard as I could to achieve those dreams. And you know, I feel privileged. I don't stand there with my ego out going, I did that, I'm the man, you know. I kind of feel very humble. And I'm really appreciative, you know. It's been a good life.
And what do you think the surfing has changed, you know, back then and now? Like what?
Oh, so much has changed. I mean, when I was a kid, your parents didn't want you to surf, really. It was kind of sort of almost embarrassing. They wanted you to be a doctor or a lawyer or something that brought credibility to your family. Being a surfer was like being a beach bum, drug addict, no hoper. You know, and I suppose that was something that we were really conscious about changing. We wanted people to respect our sport. We wanted people to respect us as athletes, and that's what's changed. Now it's a professional sport. When we did it, you win $5,000. Now you win $100,000.
I know.
You know, sponsorship was small. Now they're $1 million contracts, and so it's changed a lot. The performances, you know, they're much better surfers than we were. So, you know, nearly everything has changed.
Has it? Yeah, and then they become celebrities now.
Exactly. And I mean, we sort of got, I suppose, a certain amount of fame or notoriety, but it was really at a very good level. Like, you could get things and make things happen, but the public eye wasn't on you. And I suppose we grew up before social media. So I would go away. I would go away and send my family a postcard telling them I made quarterfinals here and semi-finals there, and put the stamp on it and put it in the mail.
They get it a month later. Like you're already home. So it was a very different world I grew up in, but you know, I'm super stoked to see the way the sport has turned out and where it's at. And we're here at Kelly Slater's Surf Ranch. What do you think of this?
I love it. I mean, there aren't enough perfect waves in the world. Ever. There can't be enough perfect waves. So if we can make them and put them everywhere, well, that's going to be amazing. And I'm involved in a project called Surf Lakes, and we're going to press the go button on our wave pool in Rockhampton, in North Queensland, next week, maybe on the 15th.
That's amazing.
So they're meant to start putting the water in the pool, very soon. September 15th, they reckon they're going to press the button, and we'll be up there, and hopefully we see some perfect waves breaking there.
That would be amazing.
I'll have my own one that I can go and surf.
You also do movies, right? You produce...
I produce television. I've been involved in television, produced over 60 shows as a producer, and I've done all sorts of things for money. Because after our careers, we didn't we didn't retire wealthy enough to not work. And so I retired and had to go get a job.
Right.
Which when you've surfed for 15 years and done that, gone to the beach for 15 years as a job, then to go and get an actual job and earn money another way it was tough. It was hard and it was not fun.
Right.
But you know, you had to do what you had to do. And so I've done all sorts of things over the years for money and including, you know, public speaking, managing athletes, coaching athletes, you know, producing television shows, as we said, producing events, doing whatever it took to keep the food on the table. And I've always been self-employed and I've always worked for myself because I need my freedom. Yeah. That's what surfing gives you, you know, that's our lifestyle. You go to the edge of the coast and you look out at that beautiful blue yonder and you just feel freedom and so that's the most important thing to me is my freedom.
And what do you do besides surfing, like on your spare time? What do you love to do?
I love to snowboard.
Okay.
I love to snowboard more than surfing maybe, because I've surfed so much. I love snowboarding, I skateboard, I hydrofoil, I ride the foils, I tow surf, I love big waves, I just ride. I ride boards, that's my thing, that's what I love to do, that's what I do more than, that's all I do.
And you still travel a lot?
Oh, all the time, we're always traveling. Been all around the world this year, and you know, Tahiti, Bali, New Zealand, Fiji, Japan, Hawaii.
Hawaii's coming up.
Yeah. Lemoore.
Lemoore, I know. This is like in the middle of nowhere.
It's classic.
It's classic. Do you guys want to know anything about Barton?
Nah, not really.
Sorry. I'd like to know a little bit more about the history.
About, you know, the history of the Maui, his name. I'm sorry, I forgot his name.
Barton.
I'd like to know a little bit more. He was the most important, the surfer, in a long time because.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yes, I know.
Barton's
we're from Brazil.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I listen to your history. It's really good.
Yeah.
And nowadays have a little good surfers from Brazil, and I think you inspired a lot of people in Brazil too.
Yes.
I had some great friends in Brazil. The last event, in 1995, I was at a stage in my career. I'd been on the tour for about 13 years, and I was at a point where I wasn't really enjoying it. And I was just doing it as a job. I was only doing it for money.
Yeah.
And you know, honestly, I looked at myself like a prostitute because the thing that I love, I was only doing for money. Become a job, and it had no passion. And I was in the Rio Pro in Brazil, and I'd given up. I'd surrendered the idea of ever winning again. I kind of thought I would never win again. And I had Kelly Slater the next day in the quarterfinals, and I beat him combination. He needed, you know, a combination of 2 scores. Semi-finals, I comboed the guy, and then comboed the final. I won all 3 and won the last event of my career in Rio. So that was a really emotional moment for me.
Messages that you want to tell the young surfers or young kids out there?
You know, I think it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you do it with your heart and you're committed to it and you do the best you can with it. Success is not the measure. You know, not everyone's successful, but everyone can apply themselves and commit themselves to it, and it's the commitment that you give to whatever you do that creates a good life. And then, you know, you move on, because for me now, surfing was 15 years. I've been retired 20, so I've been out longer than I was in. It's just a chapter. Surfing for me was just a chapter. It's not my life. It's not, you know what I mean, who I define myself by, you know, my years on tour. It's just a chapter. It's just a moment in time. And so I've been able to take that commitment and dedication that I applied to my surfing and apply it to everything else in my life, you know. And then the other thing is, you got to look after this planet, man. Our generation has done some terrible things. We're idiots. I'm an idiot. We're idiots. The people I've grown up with and lived with, the politicians who have governed our countries are idiots, and we're on the verge of ruining our planet. When you consider that every single bit of plastic that has ever been created is still here, and they're still just pumping plastic out. People are over there drinking their beer in plastic cups. You know, you've got to be considerate. Every decision you make, every movement you make, everything you do, you've got to be conscious and aware of its impact on the environment. and that's the most important thing at this point, because otherwise we're going to ruin it for the future generations, and that's what I care about the most.
Yes, kids.
Get
that? Yeah.
And we're going to do our thing too. Tell your mum and dad to do their thing too.
Do that, everybody. Yeah.
And your politicians and your local councilmen, and you know, it all starts on a small scale, and if we can start small and grow out, then we've got a chance.
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, Christie.
Thank you. Yay!